I want to do a quick timeline of zoning in Austin. Way back in 1984, we wrote our current zoning code. It wasn't until 2012 that we began working on Code Next, which was a reformation of the zoning code by the City Council. Code Next was canceled in 2018 due to lawsuits from some really nice people, I'm sure. By the way, from my understanding, Code Next is not even that extreme of a change. It's not like we were turning Austin into Tokyo, as much as some of us in the urbanist community would have liked that. Now, here we are in 2023, 5 years later, we have, as far as I know, no update to the zoning code even being worked on. We have 5 of the 7 Austin Housing and Planning Committee seats empty. And now the same group of property owners that sued the city of Austin in 2018 are now suing Austin again to stop some height restrictions changes that the city council changed a year or so ago. It's hard not to be frustrated by this. I'm not anti-single family homes. I think single family homes should be legal to exist. Unfortunately, single family homeowners and neighborhood busybodies that are part of these kinds of groups don't really feel the same. They think that they know better than the market. They think that their ownership of a home should give them the right to control all the other land around them. This reduces supply. It makes projects that do get built harder and more expensive to build, which increases all of the costs associated with building, and ultimately drives sprawl and higher rents. According to an analysis by city staff, Austin has some of, if not the most restrictive compatibility requirements when compared to cities similar in size. In Seattle, for example, a developer can build up to 60 feet high once it gets to at least 50 feet away from a single-family home. In order to build this tall in Austin, you'd need to move at least 300 feet away from a single-family home. I think what bothers me is that the people who are stopping us from improving our cities and adding density where it's most needed, these are not people who are interested in learning from places where it's safer and more convenient to get around, where housing is cheaper relative to income, etc. These are people who want to protect the status quo because of some misunderstanding they have or a fuck you got mine attitude. Another way that I like to think about it is, if I was designing a city from the ground up, would I carve out huge swaths of the most valuable parts of the city and reserve those only for single-family housing so that no gentle density could be built so that people who need it the most could have better access to transit, get to their jobs easier, and so on and so forth? Would I design it so that you really can't have an urban core of the city outside of downtown? No, I think this is terrible. I think reserving all the density for corridors is a mistake. I think that having suburbs right outside of downtown is a mistake. I think that it's going to hinder our ability to invest in transit, which, by the way, Project Connect, still 10 years out, we're already seeing cuts in the scope. I do wonder if the buy-in for that would be even more if we were able to build density next to where we need it most, as if they're even able to build that transit along South Congress and down south. Immediately outside of the corridor is going to be all single-family homes within walking distance of these transit stops. I don't know, it seems like a mistake to me. I'm pretty disappointed with how things are going. I've tweeted at City Council, I've written to City Council. I'm not seeing a lot of replies, not seeing any lip service to zoning. I'm concerned about zoning in Austin, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it's hard to be optimistic.